Welcome all. In this session, we are going to discuss about the influence line diagram for the fixed beams. So far, in the previous session, we have discussed about the influence line diagram for statically determinate structures. We discussed it for overhanging beams. We discussed it for simply supported beams and all. Now we are going to discuss for the statically indeterminate beam, that is fixed beam. We all know what is meant by fixed beam. This fixed beam as fixed support at both the ends. Okay, this fixed support is capable of resisting moment and also the slope and deflection will be resisted at the fixed support. We all know those things. Okay, now we are going to find the influence line diagram for the reaction at any support and the moment at any supports. Okay, this can be found out by using Muller-Breslau principle, and later we will be using some strength of material theory like a double integration method to find the influence line ordinate values. So two things we will be using to find the influence line diagram for the statically indeterminate structures. One is Muller-Breslau principle and another one is we are preferring double integration method. Okay, so here we are going to discuss the influence line diagram for the reaction at the support A and moment at the support A. So these two things we are going to discuss in this session. This is the support A and this is support B. This beam is of a span L meter. Okay, so for this we are going to find the influence line diagram. Okay. To find the influence line diagram for the reaction at A, what first we are going to do is we are going to remove the force quantity at that point. Okay, force quantity with respect to the thing what we are going to find. So here we are going to find the reaction. So we have to remove the reaction carrying capacity at the point A. Okay, so this fixed support is capable of resisting both moment. Here the deflection and moment slope both will be zero. Okay, this is a known thing. Now what I am going to do is I am going to remove the reaction carrying capacity at the point A. So if I'm removing the reaction carrying capacity means it cannot be removed easily since this is a fixed support. Okay, because it carries both reaction and moment. Okay, so we should be very careful when you are if simply we remove the support means the moment will also get affected. Okay, but the moment carrying capacity should not get affected. This fixed support is capable of giving both reaction and also moment. We all know that. Okay, if it is a simply supported means there is no problem. You can simply remove the support. Okay, you can simply remove the support because the simply supported beam will give only the reaction component. There is no moment, so there will be no change in the moment carrying capacity of the beam. Since it is the fixed support, you cannot simply remove the support for what you are going to find the reaction. Because if you remove the support means the moment carrying capacity will also get affected. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to introduce one hinge at the support so that the moment carrying capacity will be retained but the reaction carrying capacity will be removed successfully. Okay, so I repeat again, this fixed support is having reaction and also moment. Okay, if I remove the support completely means what happens, both the moment and reaction both will get affected. To apply Muller-Breslau principle, what I should do is I should remove only this reaction. Okay, if to remove this reaction, if I remove the support means the moment carrying capacity of the beam will also get affected. So what I am going to do is I am going to introduce one hinge at the support A. Okay, so that what happens, it will behave as a this portion. I mean, the support A will behave as a hinge. So there will be the reaction at the point will be removed, but the moment carrying capacity will not get influenced. Okay, so the hinge will be like this. They are providing one hinge, that is shear hinge. That is here, and they are providing one roller hinge. Okay, so what happens? This is the first step. We are going to introduce to find the reaction means if it is reaction. Okay, if it is moment, you won't do this. Since it is a reaction, what you are going to do? You are going to introduce a hinge as the support for which you are going to find for which the reaction is asked. Okay, if you are going to find the influence line diagram for the reaction at the point B, means you will be applying this hinge at the point B. Since it is asked in the point A, you are applying the hinge into the point to the support A. Okay, this is clear. Next step, this is for the Muller-Breslau first step. Okay, according to the Muller-Breslau principle, the second step is you are going to apply one unit load, unit force quantity for what you are doing. Okay, what reaction, that is what force quantity you are removed. For that force quantity, you will be applying one unit reaction. I mean unit force quantity. Here the force quantity you are removed is the reaction. So I am going to apply a unit reaction at the support A. Okay, that is RA equal to 1. Okay, this is the second step. Okay, once you apply this conditions, what happens to the shape of the influence? That is, this is not the exact reflected shape. That means this is not the exact influence line diagram, but this is the influence line diagram. To some scale, it will be like this. We cannot say that this is very correct and accurate. Okay, for indeterminate structures, the variation will not be a linear. Okay, this variation is not a linear variation. First, we should be very clear with that. So I don't know whether this is a cubical variation or second degree variation and all. For that I have to proceed the problem. Then only I will know what variation will occur here. Okay. This is the influence line diagram. To some scale it will be like this. Okay. This is the point A and this is the point B. I am applying it here at the point A. I am applying here unit reaction, that is RA equal to 1. This will give you a slope here, that is theta. Slope is given as theta. Okay, the notation for slope is theta. For deflection, you will be putting y. You should be very clear about this also. Okay, don't get confused between slope and deflection. Both are different. Okay, the slope value here will be, you can simply calculate. You know this value is L, so this value is 1. So the theta will be 1 by L. Okay, you know the Pythagoras theorem property. Okay, by using this itself, we can find the value of a slope, that is equal to 1 by L. If the theta here is equal to 1, the same will be here also. According to the triangle property, okay, according to the geometric property, if the theta here is 1 by L, the same theta will occur at this point also. Okay, the slope here is 1 by L. So we know that this both the if it is a simply supported beam, means we all know that both the slope at both the supports are the same. But here this is a fixed beam. So what I am going to do is I am going to apply an anti-clockwise moment at the point A to make the slope equal to 0. Okay, and what going to do is I am going to make the slope as 0. For that purpose, what I am doing is, see, this is your beam. This is the point A, this is the point B, right? Now I'm doing? I'm going to apply an anti-clockwise moment at the point A and also at the point B. So what happens means the slope at the point A and at the point B will become 0. That is the most thing for that is the purpose we are applying this momentum. Okay. Next, what happens to the influence line diagram? If I apply this moment now, since the slope becomes 0 means here the value will be little flatter and it will be bending like this. Again, it will come like this. Okay. So wait. See, this is your beam. The slope at A is 0, you know. So the value here, the value will be flatter. Here also the slope is 0. So it will be like this. Okay, the value here will be flattened at the point A and at the point B, the slope is 0, so the curve will be flattened. Okay, this is the influence line diagram for the reaction RA. Okay, to some scale. Okay, this has happened while I am applying moment at the point A and also at the point B. Okay, we all know this both the slopes are equal to 0. That is slope at A equal to slope at B, which is equal to 0. So the deflection at A will be equal to the deflection at the point B. If the slopes are same means the deflections will also be equal. Okay, at this point it will be equal. Now what I am going to do is I am going to consider one section. Okay, I'm going to consider one section. This is not exactly the influence line diagram. This is the influence line diagram to some scale. Okay, so I'm taking one section XX at a distance of X from the left support. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the value of RA. We all know if you want to find the influence line diagram for any component, any force component, first we have to find the value of that component. If it is a shear force means you should know the value of shear force. If it is a reaction means you should know the value of reaction with respect to the section you are considering. Okay, now I want to find the value of RA. So I am taking one section that is at the distance of X from the left support. Okay, this is drawn here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take moment, okay, moment about the point B. Okay, if I take moment about the point B means this will become 0 because here we know we have made this, we have applied one unit moment. Okay, we made the slope as 0. So obviously it reacts as a simply supported beam. So the moment at the point B will also become 0. Okay, so how you will be calculating? Here is the RA. Here one moment is acting. You may consider this image also. Here is your reaction, this moment and this moment. You have to consider these three things. Okay, so RA into its corresponding distance is L. Okay, this will act in the clockwise direction. Here you are having anti-clockwise moment M at the support A. So minus M. Okay, but in the point B, there is also a moment which is also acting in the anti-clockwise direction. So it will become as a minus M again, which is equal to the 0 because the moment above the point will become 0. So the value of RA will be 2M divided by L. Then if the value of RA is equal to 2M by L means the value of moment will be what? It will be L by 2. You may ask what happened to RA. We know we have applied this RA value as 1 here. Okay, so I am putting the value of 1 here. So the value of moment will become L by 2 because this RA is equal to 1. So because we applied a unit load to the point RA. Okay, so far I think it will be clear. Next, we are going to find the influence line ordinate for the point RA. Okay, if you want to find the influence line ordinate for the reaction means it will be like deflection at any section X due to the unit load applied at the point A to the deflection at A due to the unit load applied at the point A, which means you are going. So see, this is your B. Okay, this is your point A and this is your point B. So far this is your influence line diagram. This is the point X. You all know these things and all. You know this value is equal to 1. So we are assuming this. If it is equal to 1 means this will be the value of RA. Okay. So you should know what is this YXA and YAA. What is the difference between these two things? YXA means deflection at the point X. Okay, let me show you in different color. Okay, this point is YXA. I am applying this unit load in the point A. Due to the application of unit load at the point A, there will be some deflection in the point X. That is called YXA. due to the same unit load applied at the point A, there will be some other deflection at the point A itself. That is called YAA. So the first suffix stands for where the deflection is, you are encountering the deflection. Okay, this second suffix stands for from where the unit load is acting. Okay, in both the cases, the unit load is acting at the point A. Am I right? So that comes under second suffix. In first case, that is in the numerator, what we have chosen is YXA, which means you are finding the deflection at the point X due to the unit load applied at the point A. In the denominator, you are finding the deflection at the point A due to the unit load applied at the same point A. Okay, this is the influence line ordinate for RA. Okay, so up to this, the application of Muller-Breslau principle is over. So we have found how to find the influence line ordinate using the Muller-Breslau principle. Next, we are going to apply some strength of material theory to find the values of this YXA and this YAA. This will be the question. If you find these two values, then you will get the value of the influence line ordinates. Using that ordinate value, you can plot the influence line diagram. Okay, this is the first step. First step is to find the influence line ordinate for the component for which is asked using the Muller-Breslau principle. Okay, the second step is what you are going to find is you are going to find the deflection at the point X due to the unit load applied at the point A, and the deflection at the point A due to the unit load applied at the point A. Okay, let me start. So for this, what I am going to do is I am going to use the double integration method. Okay, in your lower classes in strength of material, you would have been studied about this double integration method. Okay, so this is the influence line diagram. So for what we are doing, okay, here is the point X, which is at the distance of X from the left support, and applying one moment here, that is M. Here there will be a reaction RA. So this moment will also here also our both the point at the point A and B, we are applied that moment. Okay. So the double integration equation is EI d square y divided by dx square is equal to minus mx. So using this equation only, you will be finding the value of the deflection and the slope at the point X. Okay, for this what you have to find is you have to find the value of mx. Mx means the moment above the section you are considered, that is the moment above the point X. So first step is to find the value of mx. Okay, so mx, this is the point. Okay, now I am choosing the left portion. Left portion I am considering means what happens, there is one reaction RA into its corresponding distances X minus one more moment is there which is acting in the anti-clockwise direction. So the sign convention will be negative and its magnitude is M. Okay, the value of moment here will be X minus L by 2, because previously we found we know that RA is equal to 1, and we also in the previous when you are finding the value of reaction itself, you found it as 2m by L. Here when you apply this value as 1, the moment value will become L by 2. Okay, so that is the thing we have used here. So the moment above the section X is X minus L by 2. Okay, hope you will be clear about these things. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to use this moment value in the double integration equation. D square y divided by dx square is equal to minus mx. You know the value of mx, that is minus of x minus L by 2. It can be written as L by 2 minus x. Okay, this is your very first equation, that is EI into d square y divided by dx square is equal to L by 2 minus x. This is your first equation. Okay, next what I am going to do is I am going to integrate this equation 1. Okay, upon integrating equation 1, I will be getting another one equation that gives the value of the deflection. Okay, so while I am integrating, what happens? This d square y divided by dx square will become dy divided by dx. And in the left side, you are having L by 2 minus x. This will become L by 2 into x minus x square divided by 2. Plus, you will be having some constant. I am naming that constant as C1. Okay. To find the value of this constant, we should know some things. If we know the value of this deflection means, you can find the value of this constant at some point. Okay, so you know this is your beam. Okay, this is your beam. This will be a flattened portion. Okay. Now what I am doing is, this x is starting from here. Okay, x is starting from here and it is ending here. X equal to x at the point x. Am I right? So x is starting here. Here the value of the deflection is 0. Am I right? Because here it is the simply supported. So the value of the deflection, that is here the slope is 0. dy by dx is nothing but the slope. We have made the slope at the point here as 0 by applying a anti-clockwise moment. Okay, so the slope at the point x equal to 0 will be 0. Slope is dy by dx. We have told earlier theta equal to dy by dx, which is slope. Okay, upon integrating this value only, you will be getting this y, that is called deflection. Okay, so I should know the value of the dy at some point x. So I can find the value of C1. This is the concept. Okay, so I know that at the point A, which means when x equal to 0, the value of the slope is 0. I made it 0 by applying an anti-clockwise momentum. So I'm using that concept here. So what happens is dy by dx will become 0, L by 2. So x is also equal to 0, which will become 0 minus 0 by 0 into C1. So the value of C1 will be equal to 0. You found the value of the constant here. Next, you can write down the equation using this constant value. So EI into dy by dx is equal to L by 2 into x minus x square by 2 plus 0. Okay, this value is becoming 0. This is your equation number 2. Okay, up to this we have finished. Next, what we are going to do is, we are going to find the value of the deflection. Okay, so we have first we have differentiated this d square y divided by dx. Next, by differentiating, we got dy by dx, which gives the slope. Okay, next what we are going to do is, we are going to differentiate this ei dy by dx. Okay, you know the ei into dy by dx value is equal to Lx by 2 minus x square by 2. Am I right? This is the equation number 2 we have seen in the previous slide itself. Okay. Next, what I am going to do is, I am going to differentiate this equation 2. Sorry, not differentiating. I am going to integrate. Integrating equation 2. Now what happened means, ei into y equal to Lx square by 2 into 2 becomes 4 minus x cube by 2 into 3 becomes 6. We know that C1 value got 0 in that equation itself, so we don't need to worry about that. Now I am going to introduce another one constant, that is called C2. Since I am integrating, I am introducing this constant. Okay. Now you have to find the value of this constant C2. This is the deflection, you know. Okay, you know this. This is your beam. Okay, here this is at the point B. It's a fixed support. Okay, you made some changes only in the support A, but you never changed anything at the point B. So this is your fixed support till the end of this problem. Okay, at the fixed support, the deflection will be equal to 0. Am I right? The deflection and slope both will be equal to 0. So which means the value of x here will be equal to L. The distance L is starting from here, 0 to L. Am I right? So the value of x here is L. When x equal to L, the deflection equal to 0. I am applying this here. So y equal to 0, the value of x is L here. So L cube by 4 minus again L cube by 6 plus C2. So C2 equal to L cube by 6 minus L cube by 4 upon simplification, what comes means L minus L cube divided by 12. Okay, this is the value of C2. Okay, this is the value of C2. Now I am going to use the value of the C2 in the equation I have found from integrating the equations. So EIY equal to Lx square by 4 minus x cube by 6. You know the value of C2 as minus L cube divided by 12. So this is the equation 3. Okay, I found the value of the equation. That is the deflection equation. So you may write the deflection like this also. Y equal to 1 by EI into Lx square by 4 minus x cube by 6 minus L cube by 12. Can you understand? I am just taking this EI to the right side. So it comes under denominator. Have you all got it? This is the value of the deflection at any section X due to point load applied wherever. Okay. So it is the deflection at any point X due to the unit load applied at the point A. Okay, this is clear here. So what our ultimate aim is to find the influence line ordinate. Okay, you know the influence line ordinate is given as yxa divided byyaa. Now you found the value of this yxa. Okay, previously we found that only. To get the value of this yaa, what I am going to do is I am going to make the value of x equal to 0, because in the equation that is y equal to 1 by EI into L by 4 x square minus x cube divided by 6 minus L cube divided by 12. This is the value of the this is the general equation for the deflection. Okay, this is when the unit load is applied at the point A, the deflection occurring at the point X. Okay, now I have to find the value of deflection at the point A due to the unit load applied at the point A. For that I am going to make the value of x equal to 0, because in the beam here only you are going to find the deflection value. Okay, here comes your deflection value as YAE. At this point the value of x is equal to 0. Okay, so I am going to put the value of x here as 0. What happened? These two terms will get cancelled, will become 0. So the answer will be minus L cube by 12 EA. Here we are having the EA, so I am putting it here itself. So the value will be minus L cube by 12 into EA. YAA equal to minus L cube by 12. So I found the value of YXA and the value of YAA. Okay, now I am going to apply this value to find the influence line ordinate for the reaction at the point A. This 1 by EI, okay, 1 by EI into L by 4 x square minus x cube by 6 minus L cube divided by 12 whole divided by minus L cube divided by 12 EI. What happened means this EA and this EA will get cancelled. When I am rewriting this, 12 divided by L cube. Okay, so I am applying this negative sign inside. What happens? This positive sign will become negative and negative sign will become positive. Okay, minus into minus plus and plus into minus will become minus. That is x cube by 6 plus L cube by 12. This minus, okay, the denominator you are having one minus. Don't confuse which minus. This denominator minuses I am substituting inside. Minus L by 4 x square. Okay, So again, I'm going to simplify this for my convenience. Okay. What I'm going to get is, I'm going to apply this 12 inside the bracket. What happens? 1 by L cube into x cube. That is 2x cube will come. Okay. Plus L cube minus 3L x square. So this is your influence line ordinate for the reaction at the point A. So I found it. Okay. So now what I'm going to find is, here x is the variable. X is going to vary from the point 0 to L. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the value of x and I'm going to find the value of this ordinates at different position of x. For that I'm going to open one table code. Okay. So here is your table. I'm going to apply the value of x as 0, 0.2L, 0.4L, 0.6L and L. This is not 1, this is L. Okay. So whenever I apply 0 means what happens? This term will get 0, x will get 0 and this term also gets 0. L cube by L cube will become 1. Next I am going to apply 0.2L for the x. I will be getting the answer as 0.896. You may use your calculator to get these values. Okay, you should check whether whatever I am putting in this board will not be the right thing. You should check yourself once. Okay. So this will be the influence line ordinates. Now I found successfully I found the ordinates. Here you should note one more thing. The higher degree for this equation, that is for the influence line ordinate equation, is in the power of 3. From this, what we are concluding is, the influence line diagram variation will be cubical variation. The variation will be cubical variation. It cannot be a linear variation. Okay. So first, what I am going to do is, I am going to plot these values. You know, when x is equal to 0, the value is equal. The value is equal to 1. Okay. So at the point x equal to 0, you found this value as 1. Next, x is equal to 0.2L. Okay. Next, x is equal to 0.4L. Here it is 0.6L, 0.8L, and here it is L. Okay. For everything, I am going to plot the values. I will be getting the influence line or the diagram for this like this. This will not bend like this and all. It will be okay. So here your value will be 0.896. Here your value is 0.648. Here your value is 0.352. And here your value is 0.104. Here the value is 0. Okay. This is your influence line diagram for the reaction at the point A for fixed B. Okay. For fixed B. The variation. Okay. This curve variation is cubical. It is not linear. This is a statically indeterminate structure. So it cannot be a linear variation. It may be some higher degree variation. It may be a parabolic variation or cubical variation. It may be a 4-degree variation will also be possible there. Okay. But in this case, it is a cubical variation because the higher degree in this equation is 3. Okay, so the value, so the variation will be cubical. You should note this. This is very important. Okay. Next, we are going to discuss about the influence line diagram for the moment at the point A. So now we are going to find the influence line diagram for the moment at the point A. Okay. At the support A, it is capital of A, moment and also reaction. So we all know we are discussing about fixed beam, right? Fixed beam as fixed support in both the sides. So this fixed support is capable of carrying both moment and also reaction. We all know very well about this. Okay, this fixed support will be capable of carrying both moment and reaction. Here we want to find the moment. Okay, we want to find the influence line diagram for moment alone. If so, what we must do means we should remove this moment causing quantity. We should remove the moment causing quantity and it should retain the reaction. For that, what I am going to do is I am going to insert a hinge at the point. Okay, I am going to insert the hinge. Let me clearly explain now. See, this is your beam. Since this support A as both moment carrying capacity and also it is carrying reaction. So to remove that moment carrying quantity, I am going to introduce a hinge at the support A. Okay, this is the hinge. I am going to introduce the hinge. Then I am going to apply a unit moment at the support A. Okay, so moment at the point A equal to 1. We all know in strength of material we would have been discussed in that stiffness matrix and all. When the far end is fixed means that is C. Compared it from this A point, the far end means this next support B. B is a fixed support. Okay, so when the far end is fixed means the moment carrying that is the moment carryover factor will be reduced to off. Here the moment value is 1. So whenever the far end is fixed means the moment carrying capacity will be reduced to off, which means the moment will be off times of m. That is the value of m here is 1. So 1 by 2 into 1 which is equal to 1 by 2. So in this side in the B support the moment will be equal to 1 by 2. Okay. So how the beam will become now? It will be looking like this. Here the moment value is 1, whereas here it is 1 by 2. And then you are going to draw the deflected shape of this beam. So you know, here we have introduced the hinge. So surely there will be some slope. But this is a fixed support. Adanala here there will be no slope. So the deflected shape will be like this. Okay, near this support there will be no slope, so that only here it is looking like flat. But here since we have introduced one hinge, there will be some amount of slope that is marked as theta. Okay, next what we are going to do is we are going to introduce one section in this beam. Okay, I am just considering one section XX. Okay, so the deflection at this section. So you know this is the deflected shape of the beam. Here I am having hinge. This is your deflected shape. So here you are taking one section. Okay, you will be having slope here as theta, but here there is no slope. So this deflection is named as YXA because the deflection at the point X due to the unit moment applied at the point A. You are applying the unit moment at the point A. Okay, so the influence line ordinate for the moment at A will be equal to YXA divided by theta AA. This theta A is nothing but the slope only because this is the slope at the point A due to the unit moment applied at the point A. So we all know that the first suffix stands for the stands to show the location of the point to which you are considering the slope or deflection. Okay. The second suffix denotes the location where you are applying the unit moment or unit reaction, whatever it may be. So we very well know about that. So here yxa means deflection at the point x due to the unit moment applied at the point A, whereas theta aa means slope at the point A due to the unit moment applied at the point A. So far it is clear. Next, this beam is reduced like this. Okay, so since you have introduced here a hinge, it behaves like a simply supported in this support A. So here the moment value is 1. So you have applied one unit moment there. This moment is reduced to off when it is going to the support B, because the far end is fixed means the carryover factor will be off. Okay, so now I am going to take, since this is a simply support condition, okay, A point is under simply support condition, I can take moment above this point A, so that the moment above the point A will be equal to 0. Moment above the point A will be equal to 0 because this is a simply supported condition. So here you will be having one reaction that is called RB. So while taking moment above the point A, what happens? RB into its corresponding distance. We all know the distance, the span of the beam is L. Okay, so RB into L minus, here you are having one more moment. See, this reaction will be acting in the which direction? This reaction will be acting in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, but whereas this moment, this carryover moment will be acting in the clockwise direction. So it is taken in the negative sign, minus 1 by 2. This is also, this moment at the point A is also acting in the clockwise direction. So according to the sign convention, I am taking that value is also as minus 1, which will be equal to 0. So here the value of RP is 3 by 2 into L. Okay. Next what we are going to do is, we are going to introduce one hinge. Sorry, not hinge. We are going to introduce one section. Let us take this section as X, which is acting at the distance of small x from the support A. You know the value of RB now as 3 by 2L. Okay, so what will be the value of RA? It's simple to find. You know, sum of the vertical forces will be equal to 0. Here the vertical forces is only reactions RA and RB. So RA plus RB equal to 0. There is no other vertical force acting on the beam. So you know the value of RB means you can obviously find the value of RA. RA will be equal to minus 3 by 2L, which means RA is acting in the downward direction. Okay, your sign convention will be wrong. So here the reaction is acting. Okay, RA is acting in the downward direction and its value is minus 3 by 2L. Okay, now next what we are going to find is, before applying that Macaulay method, we have to find the moment above this section. For that I am going to take moment above the section and consider, that is the section we are considered is XX. Okay, so we can choose either side of the section. We can choose either the left portion or the right portion. So it will be easy to take the left portion. Okay, so what will be the moment at this point? So you are having one reaction which will be acting in the anti-clockwise direction, and you are having one moment that is acting in the clockwise direction. So it will be like 3 by 2L into its corresponding distance. That is, this is RA. Okay, RA value is 3 by 2L. Okay, I am directly writing the value of RA into its corresponding distance is X. Okay, minus this moment 1. So this is the value of the moment, 3x by 2L minus 1. So we have successfully found this. Next we are going to apply this value in the Macaulay's double integration equation. EI t square y divided by dx square is equal to minus x. So now we know the value of mx, that is the moment above the section x. The value is 3 by 2 Okay, x divided by L minus 1. What happens to this? X is equal to, you can write it like this, 1 minus, so I am applying this minus sign inside. Plus, that will be 3 by 2 x by L minus 1. Now we are going to integrate this point. So, ei into dy by dx is equal to 3 by 2 into, we are having x here, so we know x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 upon integrating the x. So, x square divided by 2n minus x, then you will be adding some constant. I am naming this constant as C1. Okay, this is your equation. So, if you want to find the value of this constant C1, we should know the slope. Okay, somewhere in the beam, we should know the value of the slope. We know very well when x equal to L. Okay, so this is your beam. Sorry, here now the support is not fixed. Okay, now here it is simply supported condition. See, this is simply supported condition. So you know we are measuring the value of x from this point. Okay, from this point we are measuring. So here the value of x will be equal to 0. Here the value of x will be equal to L. We very well know that at the point B, that is at the support, at the fixed support, the slope will be equal to 0. So that is only I am going to adopt here. So when x equal to L, the slope dy by dx will be equal to 0. When I am applying this values in this equation 1, what will happen? Ei into 0 equal to 3 by 2 L square divided by 2L minus L plus C1. Okay, so what happens to C1? C1 will be equal to L minus 3L by 4. Then upon simplification, C1 value will become L by 4. So far we found the value of the constant 1. That is, we found the value of C1. So we can apply the value of the C1 in the equation 1. So what happened to the equation 1? It can be rechanged as, you can replace the C1 alone as L by 4. Okay. So now the equation will be like this. Ei into dy by dx equal to 3 by 2L x square by 2 minus x plus L by 4. So you found this. This is equation number 2. So you know that this is the slope. Dy by dx means slope. This is the general equation, which means this is the slope at any point. Okay, it may be at any point. Here we are considering x position. So I am marking this as x due to the unit moment applied at the point A. So you found the value of the slope at any point x due to the unit moment applied at the point A. Okay, which is 1 by Ei. That is, I am writing this Ei in the denominator on the right hand side. 3 by 4L x square minus x plus L by 4. Next, what I am going to do is, I am going to find the value of the slope at the point A. Okay, because to find the moment, okay, to find the influence line ordinate for the moment, what I have to find means I should know the value of theta xa and theta aa. Okay, so that now I have found the value of theta xa. Next, I am going to find the value of theta aa, that is dy by dx at the point A due to the unit load applied at the point A. So what happens to the value of x at the point A means that the beam value. So this is your beam, right? Here the value is Here the value is L and here the value is 0. So at A the value of x will be equal to 0. So I am using the value of x here as 0. So the value of theta AA is L by 4 EI. Okay, L by 4 EI. This is one more equation. You can mark it as equation number 3. Next, what I am going to do is I am going to find the deflection at the point XA. Okay, for that what should I do? I should integrate the equation 2. I should integrate the equation 2. Equation 2 upon integration will give EI into y equal to 3x cube divided by 2L into 6 minus x square divided by 2 plus L by 4 plus C2. This is another one constant. You are adding another one constant. L by 4 into x will be having one variable here. L by 4 into x. By 12 x cube divided by 6 minus x square divided by 2 plus L by 4 into x plus C2. Now we have to find the value of this C2. Okay, so that I should know the value of this deflection. Then only I can find the value of C2. So in this beam, okay, in this beam we already know here this is a fixed support. There is the slope at this point is 0 and the same point, okay, at the same support B, the deflection will also be equal to 0. Okay, so this value, what happens to x here? When x equal to 0, y will be equal to 0. Y is nothing but the deflection. X is nothing but the distance of the, that is the span of the beam. Here the span of the beam is 0. Okay, at the support B, it is considered as the 0. So the value, when you are using this value in this equation number 3, what happens? 0 equal to 3 by 2L. The first term will become 0, second term will also become 0, third term will also become 0 because these three terms contain x plus C2. So the value of C2 is 0. Now I am going to use the C2 in the equation 3. Then I will get another one equation. So what happens? X cube divided by, you can cancel this 3 here. Okay, 3 2s are, so it will become 4L minus x cube divided by 2 plus Lx by 4 plus 0. You don't want to write this, okay? So you can just neglect because this is 0. So this is your equation number 4. Next, what we are going to do is, using this deflection, I am going to, you can write this as yxa because this is the generalized equation at any point in the beam. So, deflection at any point x due to the unit moment applied at the point A can be written as 1 by EI into x cube divided by 4L minus x cube by 2 plus Lx by 4. Okay, clear? Next we are going to find the value of, that is we are going to find the influence line ordinate for the moment at the point A. For that what we have to, we know the equation already. We already found the equation, that is influence line ordinate for the moment at the point A as yxa divided by theta AA. Okay, so you found the value of yxa and value of theta AA. What is the value of yxa? 1 by EI into x cube divided by 4L minus x square divided by 2 plus Lx divided by 4 whole divided by L by 4 EI. So this EI and this EI will get cancelled. Then you will be substituting the value of, so what happens? The equation will be 4 by L into x cube divided by 4L minus x square divided by 2 plus Lx by 4. Again, I am simplifying this. So what happens? I am just taking the value of x outside, okay, and I am substituting the value of 4 inside this bracket. So what happens? X divided by L into x square divided by L, because this 4 and this 4 get cancelled, minus x divided minus 2x into L. Okay, you are having one L outside, so I have to multiply one more L inside this value. Here it will be L square. Okay, next using this, so finally I have found the influence line ordinate for the moment at the point A as, you can simply keep it like this also. Okay, 4 by L into x cube divided by, for simplification I have not write it down like that. It's up to you. You can keep it like this also. Both are same only. You can write like this also. Both are correct. X square minus 2xl plus L square. Now I'm going to draw one table, that is, for this thing, what we are going to do is we are going to vary the value of x and we are going to find the value of the influence line ordinate. Okay, so I am taking value of x as 0, 0.2L, 0.4L, 0.6L, 0.8L and L. Okay, when I apply the value of x as 0 here, the influence line ordinate value will become 0. When I say 0.28, it will be 0.128. When it is 0.4L, it is 0.144L. Here it will be 0.096. Here 0.0324. And here the value is 0. Okay, so now using these values only, we are going to plot our influence line diagram. Okay. See, I have drawn the green here. This is the 0. Here it is 0.2L, 0.4L, 0.6L, 0.8L, and here it is L. Okay, when it is 0, the value is 0. When x equal to 0, the influence line ordinate is also 0. When x equal to L, the influence line ordinate value is 0. When x equal to 0.2, it is 0.128. Here it is 0.144. Again, it will be getting reduced here as 0.096. So the influence line ordinate shape will be like this. Okay, here it is 0.0. This is how you will be drawing the influence line diagram for the moment at the point A for the fixed B. Okay. So thank you all for watching. Up to this we can finish, and then next video we shall continue the remaining parts. Thank you.